think it's Saturday. I just worked like 6 days in a row, so I'm not even confident on what day it is. It's Saturday, I think. Due to all the messages I've received, there's certain things I'm not even going to touch because I just don't even care. It's such a dead horse and boring, and I was sent video footage where my name was said, and I didn't feel like it was derogatory. I almost felt like it was a compliment, really. And yeah, I was sent a screenshot saying my jaw's gonna get broke. I'm pretty used to that. Doesn't faze me. I guess what I really wanted to say is that I can't defend recovery as a whole. I'm not capable. Nor would I try. I'll always defend my personal recovery because it saved my life and it's something I'm passionate about. That is important to me. For a lot of reasons. Anyone can pick that apart, say it's this, say it's wrong, whatever. I did see a video where someone said, I used to live that way and go to meetings and blah, blah, blah. And I don't do that anymore and my life's terrible. That's what I heard someone say. I don't do those things and I want to die. That's what I heard someone say. I didn't hear them say, I go to meetings, I have a sponsor, I work the steps, I do service work at those meetings, I sponsor other men, I go to treatment centers and try to help new guys find stability and recovery. I do volunteer work at places where it's needed, and my life sucks. What I heard was, because you'll never hear anyone say that. That's just my experience. When you hear people say that they're doing all the things asked of them in recovery, you'll always hear them say life's pretty good. That's just how programs of 12-step recovery work, in my experience. I have never in my life seen anyone do everything that's asked of them in a 12-step program and hate life, or kill themselves, or start to drink and use drugs again. I've never seen it. I've seen people quit doing the things they're supposed to do and use again and die. I've seen that. I'm not in any position to tell anyone what to do or how to do it. But if you're X amount of years clean and your life is worse, why stay clean? You're saying your life was better when you were getting high. What's the point? I'm a person, a lot of people think like I'm anti-drug or anti-this or that. I'm actually pretty neutral on all drugs. I do not want to see anyone shooting heroin. I don't want to see anyone smoking crack. But if you need to smoke weed, that's your life. If you need to eat some pills, that's your life. I don't do those things because obviously, as you've heard me talk about it, I wasn't very good at it. There actually are people who are good at it and they're able to live life and get away with it. I was not. When I did those things, consequences occurred. And I wasn't happy. Much like the video I saw, I didn't have friends. I didn't have a car. Relationships would end. I couldn't get a job. I would pray for the end. Sound familiar? Yet, when I got clean, I did what was asked of me in a 12-step program, and my life got way better. Upon that journey, I became a convicted felon, which disqualifies me from working in a few places. It disqualifies me from doing a few other things within the state of Ohio. And it made me have to work harder in finding a career. It did. It required me to go to college. But I have never had trouble having a job ever. I have friends who have the type of felonies where they got major problems finding a job. But let me tell you, they got more money than we do. They've worked very hard for what they have, and they're balling. They own companies, own homes and rental homes, because they've made mistakes in their lives. Therefore, they worked hard enough to get what they wanted. I'm just going to put it out there. As far as I know, and this is the state of Ohio, I cannot speak for any other state in this country. In the state of Ohio, misdemeanor records do not disqualify you from a job. On a job application, the only box they ask you to check is the felony box. Now, if you have violent misdemeanors that can be brought up in an interview and discussed, but it does not disqualify you from a job because they're misdemeanors. They don't mean anything. If it's that bad, what is the point? If someone knows so much about recovery and it worked for a time period, would it work again? See, I don't know. I only know my own story. I only know what has worked for me and the success it's brought me. And by success, I'm not riding around in private jets or carrying around stacks of money. I have a good life, simple life. Sure beats the way I used to live. I definitely don't have to worry about the things I heard described in that video. I definitely don't have to pray for the end. So, I don't know. Do grown men cry? Grown men cry? Come on. Absolutely. Did you guys see the movie The Arrival? Who was it? Amy Adams and I forget his name, the guy from The Hurt Locker. I might have shed a little tear in that one, just a little one. Once again, it's all irrelevant to the greater question I think y'all are looking for. But I've been doing this for a while, and it's worked for my life. I can only defend my recovery, not somebody else's or recovery as a whole. Now, once again, if someone was coming to physically harm me, whatever, I really doubt they would post it online. There's this little thing called the element of surprise. That's all fluff. It's not impressive. People that actually do those things don't tell anybody. They just show up. I really shouldn't have to be telling anyone this. That's how that works. In fact, when someone posts that online, it's just laughable. I'm not making fun. If you take it that way, no. It's fluff. It's a lie. It's not realistic. If it were realistic, it already would have happened. I don't believe it. I didn't believe it the last time it happened. I don't believe it now. On all fronts. I don't believe you're capable of any of that. So, to those of you that sent me the screenshots and the videos, and I appreciate it, I just don't believe it. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't make me want to fight and puff up my chest and yell back, and not interested. I don't care. The big thing I wanted to talk about, because it's important. And thank you to the person, and you know who you are, who sent me the screenshots and the video footage and everything. Why would I send emails under my name, send comments under Brandon Pittman, post videos under Brandon Pittman, but people think I would sneak around in these hidden accounts and hangouts? Really? Yeah, I think, I don't even, is that staged? Is that what, I don't even know what that is. Why would I do all the X, Y, and Z under my real name, then try to come around in these different places under these fake names? It makes no sense. So, I don't know if people are confused and have convinced themselves of something that's just not there, or the whole thing's staged to look a certain way. There are other people named Brandon. In fact, I've met a lot of Brandons that are like the same age or similar age as me. So that's a possibility as well, but due to the names that were they called this guy, I'm assuming it was directed at me, which is great, because I don't know who, I don't even know who they were talking to. I couldn't read it as it was screenshot. I couldn't tell, so I don't know. Once again, try to find a video I've done on Nibiru. You're not going to find one. Try to find a video I've done on any of that. You're not going to find one. It's just not my place. It's not something I'm big time interested in. I don't do it. So I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's pretty funny. That's been going on for months. I've been sent tons of those. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it'll probably continue. I guess the only way I'll ever get an opportunity to prove that is someone will have to show me as it's going on. Then we'll have to live go through my phone to the 2 YouTube accounts I have. 2. I'll gladly do it. No problems. And then that's that. But people will say, oh, no, he's got all these other accounts. Well, that's fine too. I don't care. I don't know. It's kind of just boring anymore. I don't know. I feel like a lot of this stuff is dead horse type stuff. It's obviously entertaining to some, or it wouldn't be discussed, talked about, brought up. Messages wouldn't be sent on it. Videos wouldn't be made to try to look a certain way, and that's fine. So I get that it's wanted for me to go in and basically do a reaction to a video of someone having a really bad day. I just gave you my reaction. My reaction is literally a person explains that at a time in their life they had done a little bit of work in recovery, but they stopped doing it, and their life isn't good. They're not happy in their life, and they're praying for the end. My question is, what if you started doing recovery again? Would your life get better? It's just a question I have. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm not in any position to tell anyone what to do with their life. All I know is that people who are miserable and don't have much spend way too much time worried about what other people have. What kind of car they got, what kind of house they live in, all that. When I got sober in 2009, I would sit out in front of 12-step meetings and look at what kind of cars these dudes drove and what their house looked like, and man, I wanted all that. Thank God I was raised in a way that my father taught me not to worry about what another man had. Recovery taught me the same thing again. In my life, if I'm sitting around worried about what you have, that's miserable. For whatever reason, one of my biggest dreams in life was to have a Lincoln Town Car. It's in the garage. I need to get the CD player installed, but that's it. It's in the garage. I have something I've dreamt about for years. People that wait around for someone to be having their worst day, yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't wish misery for people. I don't wish for bad things to happen to people. Because that's sick. It's not healthy.
Misery loves company.
Oh, misery loves company. Because when people are sick, they want everyone else to be sick. They're not happy. So they don't want happiness for other people. Why would they? Ooh, there's nothing worse than when you're miserable and seeing people being happy. It hurts. It's painful. And I've seen it. I've seen people like that. I've seen people that can't wait to see other people fall. If you're waiting on that for me, you might want to pack a lunch. As I've said, I'm not out here whipping Mercedes and Cadillac, but I got a Lincoln in the garage. The bills are paid. Kids are happy. Sarah's happy.
Boom.
You know, it's like, I don't know. I watched a video of a guy who was talking about not wanting to live life anymore. I did not laugh throughout that video. I definitely had some sympathy, but at the end of the day, when I hear someone say, I quit doing the things in recovery I was supposed to do, and now I don't like my life anymore. My question is, what are you willing to do to be happy? What do you want to do? And really, ultimately, in recovery, the real question is always the same. What are you not willing to do to stay clean? Because you ask any addict, what are you willing to do to stay clean? They know the answer. Get a sponsor, work steps, go to meetings, do service work. All of us have been in treatment all these times, or jail, whatever. We know the answer. But you ask an addict, what are you not willing to do? There's where you find your real answers. If they're honest. And if they sit with that question for a little while. And the cool part is, you can do that at 2 years sober, 5 years sober, 10 years sober. And the answers will change as your life in recovery changes. So, that's a good one. I know what you want. You want me to react to a video of someone having a very bad day. My reaction is, I can't tell anyone what to do with their life. Based on the video, what I heard was someone who has tried to stay clean without a program, had a program at the beginning, but stopped working a program, and now their life is miserable. But this is also a person who's admitted they're not all the way clean. They've substituted other chemicals with marijuana. That's a fact. It's what he said. So, but to be clean from opiates, painkillers, cocaine, alcohol, whatever, that's great. Good for him. If that's success in his life, then that's success. On the other hand, at a point in your life you had a program and quit working that program, and now life sucks. Could that program work for you now? Do you believe in the possibility that if you went in and worked a program now, could your life get better? Because I know for me, if I was at a point in my life where I'm praying for the end, I would take action. I wouldn't just sit around and continue to pray for the end. I would do something about it. That's me. Other people are different. I'm not going to sit here and make fun of somebody who's crying. I'm not a person who sits here and waits for people to be at their bad day, at their bottom, to fall off. I don't wish and wait for that day. There are people that do. There are people that can't wait for someone to have a bad day. I feel sorry for them. Because that's no life. That's miserable. Envy and jealousy and those kind of things, you can have it. There are absolutely times in my life where I wanted what someone else had, and it only made me sick. Sitting around worried about what another man has, that's weird. I've done it. Thank God I was raised by a man who taught me not to think and be that way. Worried about what kind of car somebody's got, what their house looks like, how much money they got. It's weird. I don't do it. When I got sober, I didn't have anything. And I absolutely wanted what people had. I'd look at what kind of car they had, what their house looked like, and I'd dream about it. And at times it did. It made me sick to my stomach. My whole life I dreamt of having a Lincoln town car. It's in the garage right now. Doesn't have a CD player, but I'll get it installed soon. I dreamt of that. A Lincoln Town Car. And because I worked a program of recovery, I have it. I believe that. Yes, I went to work. Yes, I saved money. But I believe I have that job because I'm in recovery. Period. Actually, I know that for a fact. So how long can one person stay sick and be envious and jealous and wonder what other people have? And that's not directed at anybody. No. I've met many people like that. I don't know how they do it, because I can't. No way. If I sat in here and looked around the neighborhood and seen some of the cars back here in this neighborhood, wish I had them, it'd drive me crazy. I need you to stop the video and then start over. A video of a man crying and wanting the world to end and life being miserable. You know, that's his life. And he's got to make the decisions to make his life better. I'm not going to sit here and poke fun on it. That's not my job. That's not getting him back. That's not responsible. It'd just be stupid. It's not my business. Yeah, I watched the entire video, and all I got out of it really was, at one point in his life, he had worked a program of recovery, and he stopped doing it. My question is, if he started working that program again, would his life get better? And see, I don't know. That's his life. I know for me, I've worked a program of recovery for almost 9 years, and my life has continued to get better the entire time. I'm not a person who sits around and thinks about what other men are doing, what kind of car they have, what their house looks like. I don't do that. My whole life, I dreamt of having a Lincoln Town Car for some reason. And it's in the garage. I need to get the CD player installed, and it's ready to go. I dreamt of that. I went to work and saved money and bought that. That's recovery working for me. That's a material thing. It can be bought and sold. But it was a dream, and now it's real. People that are envious and jealous and miserable, they sit around and wonder about other people's stuff. I was raised in a way, the man who raised me showed me not to worry and wonder about what other men have. Because that's not what men do. Recovery taught me the same thing, to appreciate what I have, and if there's something I don't have and I'd like to have it, I need to work for it. And that's what I've done in life. I've worked hard to get where I'm at. To people that sit around and wait for someone to have a bad day, maybe even their worst day where they're praying for the end of the world. Yeah, I don't do that either. I don't want to watch someone's worst day. I don't necessarily feel sorry for someone. I try to sympathize with it, but at the end of the day, that's probably based on someone's choices. Ultimately. If I take responsibility for my own choices, I guess another man should his. I'm not a victim of circumstance. I'm a victim of my own choices. I have a good life, so I can definitely say that. No problems. My own choices gave me the life I have. So, victim's probably the wrong word. Recipient. The deal is that, you know, I know what y'all want. I'm not going to do it. You know, I think, you know, that was probably the realest we're going to see. When someone's crying and praying for the end, that's real. I don't believe that was staged. What it was for, attention, sympathy, feel sorry for me, not my business. Don't even care. You know, that could be for all that. Could be cry for help. I don't know. Doubt he's wanting me to help. I doubt he's wanting me to say anything. But since I received the videos and the messages, my response is simple. You know, what could be done differently to change that?
Since your name was mentioned in the video.
Yeah, absolutely. I took that as a compliment. I used to be like Brandon. And I also heard I have no problems with the Shipmans. That's what I heard said, which I already knew. I already knew that.
But he wants to break our jaw today.
I heard a guy in Ohio.
Oh.
It didn't. You know, I'm not going to try to sit here and assume anything.
Okay.
And once again with that, you know, Sconey's been coming to kill me for a year. Someone else has been coming to break my jaw for, a couple months now. No one seems to show up.
Do they know you're 6'4"?
3.
Oh, 6'3".
3.
You're about 6'4", but okay, I'll give it to you. 6'3".
No. And that's the surprise on the front porch.
All right.
My thing is, if you're gonna talk trash over the internet, just come see me. Okay, so I don't want to assume that the Ohio thing is about me or not about me. I don't even care. If it's not about me, that's great. If it is, that's hilarious. I am not gonna poke fun about a video of some guy crying, praying that the world's gonna end. I'm not gonna poke fun at that. I believe that was real. So, you know, if that's where that guy's at, that's where his life is. And that was my experience with those type of situations and what can be done to change it. I appreciate my 40 wonderful subscribers, you know, for giving me, especially 2 of you who, you know, sent me information and screenshots and all that. It is funny when I read it. But yeah, I can't laugh at someone because they're having a bad day. It's just not something I do. I'm not a person who sits around and waits for someone to have a bad day so I can laugh at them, regardless of what they have said about me. We could have strung that whole thing along with back and forths of making fun of each other months ago. And I probably would have had more subscribers and views and all that. That's not why I do this. And I could have started other beefs, and Sara and I could have done tons of videos about that, and back and forth would have started there, and it's not something I'm interested in. It's not why I do videos ever. It's kind of boring to me. I just don't find it entertaining to yell at someone 600 miles away. It's like what rappers do to make their Twitter accounts more popular. I don't even have a Twitter account. And oftentimes it's the only reason they do it. So definitely not threatened by anything like that. I'm not even entertained this time, mostly because I'm used to it. So, um, thank you guys for keeping me up to date. Thanks for being interested in what I have to say on anything. I find that interesting. But that's how I feel about it. I hope everybody has a good 4th of July. Be safe. Thanks.
Bye.